Alright, what's up, Dragon Brew? Today we have a pretty interesting one. This is a Golgari that was listed as Control, but I think it's more of a mid-rangey deck. However, this finished third in an almost 300-person tournament. So I really want to take a look at this and see what it's all about, because it looks really interesting playing a lot of underplayed cards in this list. Also, credit to PowrDragn133, because they were the one who played it in that event, and I want to get credit out there. But let's go ahead and run down this list and see what we're working with here. We have Requiting Hex, which isn't a surprise, Llanowar Elves for mana, some Bitter Triumph for removal, Obsessive Pursuit, so we've kind of seen this played in a few different decks even here on the channel, One Shoot the Sheriff, which is amusing, and some Badger Mole Cub. And it's like, okay, well, where are we going with this? And then there's Esper Origins. Alright, I Still Explore, so not really a landfall deck so far, but interesting. One Leatherhead, sure, card's good. Season of Loss. Now this card is a little bit over the top, and we've played a couple of decks on the channel with this card, and it actually is surprisingly good, but we don't see it that often. There is one Disrupting Stormbrew, kind of early removal, late artifact enchantment removal. Then it plays the Rise of Sozin, so even with all these creatures, it's kind of aiming for a long game, and a couple copies of Day of Black Sun, and then Mutagen Man. So after all of that happens, I guess late game you Mutagen Man and try to go nuts. I don't really know. It looks like there's some interesting stuff here with Season of Loss, being able to draw a card for all the creatures that died. You know, maybe you can drain your opponent's life for various things because of the creatures in your graveyard. I don't really know where this is going, honestly. These are going to be the first games I've played with this, and it's going to be kind of interesting. So we'll see. Before we get into all that, though, be sure to check out our sponsor over at Tales of Adventure if you're looking to buy some Magic cards, because you can save 5% on literally everything you buy there if you use my code DRAGON. It's just DRAGN at checkout. We got the sales done. Let's go see what this whole pile of weird black and green cards can do, because there's a lot of interesting stuff here. It'd be cool to see how it works out. Okay, don't really have black mana, but we can find some later, I guess. But yeah, this deck is so strange. I don't know what to make of it. This is why I try to find weird decks and just test them and see what's out there, because man, there's so much stuff happening in Standard right now. Yeah, let's do it like that. Alright, you have a Badger Mole. We will remove your Badger Mole and play a big 4/4. Leaving, I guess we just get to draw these. Do I need a Llanowar Elf? Probably not. And we'll attack. This is where Seasons of Loss gets kind of interesting, because we could Badger Mole, turn a land into a creature, Season of Loss, sack land elf, the opponent loses their land and whatever creature they play here, and then we just get to keep attacking. If we even want to. I mean, okay. Opponent says no need to play through that. Yeah, this is where Season of Loss makes sense, because we can Badger Mole for the 2 mana, then we play Fable, go fetch, get a swamp, then we have 2, 3, 4, 5. Season of Loss, sack 3 things. Actually, we'd have more mana than that. Actually, we'd be able to play the Obsessive Pursuit too. No, because we wouldn't have enough black sources. But yeah, interesting start. I don't expect all games to be like that, but it's interesting nonetheless. Okay, well, we got the more control style hand. Couple of hexes and the Rise of Sozin. Opponent mulligans once. And then what? Alright. Yeah, I don't know how this hand's going to play out, but I think if the opponent's playing anything that's aggressive with red, we might... Oh, well, red-black may not be so easy. Those we can get rid of. If it had been the elf that they could discard, that would have been... Or discard 2, that would have been more of a problem. right. I mean, I guess if there's a deck that can slow what they're doing down, it could be this. Though, I don't know. We have a couple of cards that can get rid of a March. I mean, not a March, but, well, that we only have 1 or 2 cards they can deal with. I was thinking Monument. Ooh, do we keep a Llanowar Elf? Probably. God, I kind of like Season of Loss. Do we need Season of Loss? We have 2 removal in hand. We have all right, we'll leave those. Don't know if that's the best thing to be doing, but it's fine, I guess. Mostly because if I'm probably just making the 4/4 next turn. Whatever we call the backside of this. Espermaduin. Alright, let's try to Hex. Okay, well, that's it, I guess. I mean, they didn't really get the explosive start. I mean, a small Moon Shadow, cool but rude, not able to do anything if you can't attack. And we still had more removal in hand, so they probably weren't going to get much. Not a very eventful game, but it is a win against a popular deck. We'll keep this. I didn't say that with a lot of confidence, though, because we have a lot of tapped lands here early. We'll see what happens. All right, that helps a bit. Llanowar Elf, do you get to survive this turn? I'm assuming not. That was a smart assumption. Ooh. But we do have Badger Mole. I think I'm going to play the Pursuit. With the idea that next turn we're probably going to Badger Mole and play Origins or Badger Mole draw a card. At least that would be our hope. No guarantee, obviously. Oh, you're just discarding Requiting Hexes? Wow, that's not a good sign for us. When your opponent just goes, I don't even need these. They're like, uh-oh. Alright, do we want to card more? We're going to Esper Origin. Ooh, Leatherhead's nice, though. Leatherhead, and then in 2 turns put a bunch of counters on it? That could be kind of fun. Oh, especially if we get to get rid of a cool but rude. That's big business. Wow, you discarded a Requiting Hex. So I assume you have another one, or at least like a Burst Lightning or something. No, they don't have it. Wow. Okay, then. This is a whole new thing we weren't planning on. I guess we just play Leatherhead then, right? I mean, I'm not sure there's a reason to play anything else. No attacks. We aren't the aggressor here. I don't think we'll block with Badger Mole, but maybe. We'll see what the opponent's up to. Alright. I mean, they might as well attack and get damage in one time here, because otherwise... Okay, well... We are definitely... Ooh, you know what? If I crack one of these, I get to put a counter on Leatherhead. Oh, well, that's also fun. And then we'll just attack the opponent. Put the counter on Leatherhead so that we can remove a +1/+1 counter. Keep the Hexproof on, because that's the good one. And then now I don't know if we lose to this deck. Yeah, Iron Shield Elf, you probably aren't enough to be concerned about. Yep, that's going to do it. So it's weird that we got... Not weird that we got paired with this deck twice, but Like, I don't feel like we had the best hand, necessarily. And still won these fairly easily without a lot of concern. I mean, because even next turn, we're just going to Esper Meduin, get the 4 life, have a 4/4, and then on one of the next 2 turns, we're just going to sack a bunch of clues, attack, gain a bunch of life, and then your life total's probably out of range to lose at that point. Or just Black Sun and just have a really big Leatherhead they can't do anything about. But yeah, again, popular deck. Got a couple of wins against it. Can't be too upset. Ooh, this feels a bit dangerous, but we're going to keep it. This is one of those ones that, like, if Llanowar Elf dies, I think the hand crumbles unless we just draw land off the top. Okay, that's better. That at least protects Llanowar Elf if they have something to remove a creature. They're going to come after the Badger Mole Cub for sure. We accept that. Now if I could just get an untapped land, which we did, we can start thinking about other things to do. Let's Mutagen Man for 2. And I'm just going to put 1 on the Mutagen Man just in case they have like a 3 damage removal spell. And we'll sit on the rest. Mostly just so we can get a big turn where we can sack multiple things. Oh, Laughing Jasper. That's fun. Alright. Freebie. Card. Let's go ahead and crack this. Wasn't sure what I wanted here, but I think cracking that is fine. Then I'm actually going to play another Obsessive Pursuits. Crack one of these. Put it on the mute. The counters will go eventually on Mutagen Man. Get another card. Awesome. Then both of these trigger for a lot. So it's 14. Trample with lifelink. Yep, you get my Badger Mole Cub. Congrats. I mean, they have to spend their turn getting rid of Mutagen Man at the very least. So you can play like Badger Mole into another Bitter Triumph. Alright. Then get rid of Mutagen Man, I assume, is what's about to happen here. I mean, it kind of has to be the player. The game's over. Yep, I guess the game's over. Oh, this is not cool. Oof. Alright, I guess we'll keep it. I think... I don't know, we might Esper Origins first. Some of the time, I don't want to use Badger Mole Cub unless... Well, like here, I'm going to go for it just because they're playing blue-white. We probably wouldn't resolve the Badger Mole Cub anyway on a future turn. But there's sometimes it's just like, I want to get value out of it at least once. Here, we just force them to use a Get Lost, which is fine. So, not upset about that at all. Let's hit that up. You know what? I'll go ahead and play a thing and we'll crack this and try to put a counter on the land. Bitter Triumph. I have a feeling that's not going to matter, or at least not be good enough in this matchup that we need to concern ourselves with it. The Ba Sing Se is probably bigger value. Alright, let's... I probably should have cracked the map first. Ooh. I'm not mad at that, though. Alright. Yeah, let's just keep as is, I think. I mean, there's a real chance they're just going to wipe the board here, but it's kind of like if they do, they do. Right. You know what? Nah, let's just save that map. Sure. I assume they're going to look for a board sweeper here, like a Day of Judgment or something. Yep. Not a shocker. We knew it was up there already. For 3. And we'll just map. Yeah, probably don't need that either. Honestly, if I were guessing, that's going to be the biggest problem against the control matchups is a big chunk of our deck doesn't do much. I mean, just being real. Yep. Authority of the Consoles. You got it. Goes Vacuum. Have at it. Ugh, do we want another Mutagen Man? I guess not. I mean, I'm just doing this just to get some damage in, because what else are we going to do? I guess technically I could play the other one for 4 here and get in for 10? And then they just have to... I don't think we want to do that. That feels a little too greedy. Alright. Then again, maybe they just have lands and counters in hand and this Mutagen Man can go the distance. I doubt it, but I guess it's possible. Oh, they're not even bouncing our dude with Meringue River Regent? Ugh. That's bad news for us. Yeah, that's not great. Opponent's gonna take 12, go to 6. Yeah, I guess I'll play a Llanowar Elf. Why not? They go to 7. And that's mostly just to set up a situation of if they just find one spot removal card, then we still have stuff we can do the next turn. Oh, they're going to Ghost Vacuum now? Oh, they're going to Star Cage. Yeah, that's fine. Alright, well, this is probably where the game's over. Alright, GG's. Yeah, and the reason I'm conceding there is we have cards that are dead. Like, they're going to be able to draw extra cards while we're doing nothing. We don't have any ways to do immediate damage. I guess, yeah, we don't even have things in our graveyard. So even if we drew the, what's called Season of Loss, like, we do 1 point, and the opponent still hasn't had to counter anything all game, which means there's probably at least one more counter in hand, most likely. Not willing to sit through it. All right, we'll try this. Duress? It is a Duress. I have lots of removal. Take your pick. I assume you're taking Bitter Triumph. Because at least Shoot the Sheriff is somewhat restricted. Alright. I'm going to assume that they have targets, but... or needed a target. They don't know that we have another Badger Mole, though. So I'm going to play it. Let them play the Requiting Hex, if they have one. Oh, looks like they don't. You have your own Shoot the Sheriffs? Nope, but they have their own Badger Moles. Interesting. So I need to tap these for... well, let me just get rid of their Badger Mole first before we do anything else. And then play another Badger Mole of our own. Restless Cottage, attack. Alright. Now, if we don't lose a Badger Mole, we have ridiculous amounts of mana here. which we do have a ridiculous amount of mana. Let's go ahead and... Ooh. Let's get a Leatherhead. And then we'll play that, leave the Leatherhead, draw it. And then... Does it matter? I mean... Sure. I don't think it does anything, but meh. Alright. What's the play here, opponent? Yeah, that makes sense. I was wondering if they had some type of sweeper, and they did. Alright. Well, you need another sweeper because Leatherhead you can't really target. But you can make me do that. Okay. Yeah, that's kind of weird, playing all that stuff with Badger Moles, but hey, it worked out for him. So, you know, whatever works. More removal? Nope. Alright. What do we got going on? Mutable Explorer. They have something. I don't know what something is. But it doesn't make me feel good, I'll tell you that. There is a world where I could just bossing, say, to make the cottage a creature, put this on the thing. It doesn't save us any mana, really, though. Alright. It was a thought. Looks like they have some type of removal, though. It's unfortunate. Try to attack, I guess. We're just getting in on mid-rangey, old-school style here. Just keep grinding with them lands and stuff. That's weird. They have something. I don't know what it is, but they keep stopping and checking cards. I don't know what their plan is. But they have some idea. I guess they also know we have the Bitter Triumph, too. Oh, really? That's the play? Alright, I guess. So we get to attack for 4, unabated here. Yeah, I don't know what's happening. This is a very weird deck. They're also playing a mid-rangey type deck, but their deck and ours both seem kind of unfocused. So this is just a weird scenario to be in. And they took Mutagen Man, I guess? Oh, that's well timed. Because, man, if we'd had something else in the yard, oh boy. That could have been something. Oh, they must have got a Requiting Hex. Yep. Alright. Well, that happened. And unfortunately, that's a land in the yard, not a creature. So now we're going to be in this weird thing of where they're going to know I have a thing, and I'm going to know they have a thing, and... okay. Sure. And they know about Seasonal Loss now, too. That's the other problem. That secret's now out. Yeah. Let's just... pass the turn. What's funny is on the previous turn, I almost just used a Bossing Say on our land. I wish I would have now in hindsight. I wasn't even thinking about them having Requiting Hex, but should have at least considered it. Ugin. Okay. Well, at least we still have a Bitter Triumph, so that's something.
Equilibrium must be restored.
I guess the question is, can we use... if I use the Requiting Hex, I know I'm using... I can't really. It just doesn't make sense. I mean, like, I could, but there's really not a reason to. Alright, pass the turn.
To persist would be folly.
Plus, having Season of Loss and the Rise of Sozin doesn't make a lot of sense to make those actions. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's fine. Doesn't do a whole lot. So they're activating with that on the stack? Is that what's happening here? Alright. Okay. Guess I'm gonna Rise of Sozin. Give us a chance to call Ugin, maybe, because that's the thing we're probably most worried about in their deck. So, I mean, if they're just also playing a bunch of removal and whatever, then, like, alright, I guess. I mean, you do what you're gonna do. I'm gonna try to activate a Mutavault or something? Alright. Down to 13 for both of us. We also get to see their hand, which is important. So let's call Ugin. Oh, it's Eye of Storms, right? Yeah. Ugin, Eye of the Storms. Okay, so they have a Furtic Core, another one, so we have to keep that in mind. Deadly Cover Up, fine. We'll lose our Sozin once it flips. No more Ugin, so it's just the one. Interesting. Oh, but there are Unholy Annexes, or... yeah, this deck's weird. But, alright. Tis what it is. Let's go ahead and activate. And let's see. If we attack, they Furtic Core in return. We don't have any creatures in the graveyard. Alright. Figure we got to do something. I don't know how else we're going to get ahead here. Yep, another Furtic Core makes sense. Activate the other one, attack for 4. Because what else are you going to do? Nope. Oh, you can't, actually. Yeah. Can't attack for 2, though. Yep. Fable Passage. What do we do here? I feel like they know that they're going to use the Deadly Cover-Up anyway. So, do we even bother getting in there? And is there anything I could do with this? I could sacrifice my own things. But I only have 4 land. So I can sacrifice 2, draw 2. It's not great. But I'm trying to think, like, what are we doing knowing, like, we kind of know what each side's doing right now. Alright. I guess this is it. Weird, they're not blocking? Alright. I mean... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, I guess there's a world. Well, no, because you have the Furtic course. Yeah, I probably would have just blocked. Because, like, we know what's coming. Yeah, exactly. And then we just take 2. I'm not even 100% sure how we try to win from here. I'm a little bit baffled on how we're going to get there. But, I mean, we still have things we could draw. But we are only at 9. And they have a Badger Mole, so that's not good. So they're going to be able to attack with double Furtic Core next turn. They'll be a mana short. Not to say they can't find it, though. Yeah, that's not super helpful. Man. Drawing land at the wrong time is not good. Alright, I guess we kind of have to. I mean, doesn't do anything on the last portion. That sucks. Alright. They surveil. Probably gonna end up leaving a card on top with our luck. Nope. Okay. We're going to take at least 4, go down to 7. And then just see what it looks like after that, I guess. Actually, no, we take 6 here. So we go to 5. Yeah, we could just be dead next turn. Okay, that's useful. Not mad at it. Alright, pass a turn. Furtic Cores technically cost 3, so we can't Requiting Hex, unfortunately. Yeah, sure, why not? Why wouldn't they draw those? Alright, so we're going to be at 1. Not great, but we're not dead. I was really hoping we were going to get to gain a life off of the Requiting Hex, but that obviously didn't happen. That's also not helping us. At some point, the opponent's got to draw some lands, right? Alright. I mean, that being said, if they draw another land, then they're attacking with 2 creatures that we can't do anything about. So, it's probably actually good for them here. You know what, Llanowar, if you at least chump block for now, you're something. And then we'll just have to see where things go. No attacks. The problem here is a land's bad for us. A non-land they would have is bad for us. Yeah, exactly. Like, so now that's even another creature they get to attack with, potentially. It's a no-win scenario for us. Yep. Are you kidding? This doesn't even... alright. Yeah, that's game. Like, we can use Day of Black Sun. Make another 2/2. I don't even... But, yeah, again, we're back in the same situation, right? They draw land. It's good for them. What was our dragon that can kill an artifact? That would have helped a bunch. But yeah, this is just bad. Alright. Get a land and just put us out of our misery, opponent. Or anything. Any card they get is good. Alright, Mutable Explorer. So now they have another attacker. And also have the land they were looking for. Yeah, I don't think we have an out right now. I think that's the biggest problem. Like, there's no card we can draw here. Yeah, alright. Sure enough. We were basically dead like 6 turns ago. Sure, we'll make a go at this. Why do I feel like we're going to have to do a lot of work with this Rise of Sozin situation? Because it's probably just Simic Rhythm if I... Oh, no. I don't know. Some of the Simic Rhythm decks have been splashing white lately, though. So we can't be too surprised by that. Just want to keep their mana slow enough so we can get ahead of an Ouroboros or something like that. Oh, whoa. Whoa, I see why. That's not what this deck is at all. Okay, well. We're learning some things. Don't want to get comboed out. But we might not have a choice. Alright, Badger Mole. Knowing they're stuck on mana, do we just go ahead and Rise of Sozin here? I don't like that, but it feels correct. And then what I think I'm going to do is with Rise of Sozin, I'm probably just going to call Appa. Because that's kind of one of the key pieces to the combo. If they don't have Appa, I don't think they have a good way to combo. Oh my gosh, which Appa? It's Steadfast Guardian, isn't it? Oh my gosh, I have to go to like Scryfall to remember the exact Appa we got to get rid of. It is Steadfast Guardian. All right, that's what I thought. All right. They had one in hand, so we'll target that one. There were 3 in the library. We will get those. All right. We'll play Icetail Explorer. And play the Blooming Marsh, I guess. Wow, and there's fail patches. Jeez. Yeah, they can do a lot. Like I said, I don't know that they can combo without those other pieces. I could be wrong, though. Alright, how many creatures do we have in the yard? 2. So let's go ahead. Let's crack the Fable Passage. And then, if we Season of Loss, we could draw 2 cards. Make everybody sack 3, draw 2. I'm into that. Though I don't know what risk we're at if we leave everything else. But this feels like the safe thing to do. So let's go ahead. 1, 2, 3, and draw. Now, they will still have Aang, and we'll have to figure a way around that, because our hand's kind of crappy. We're just hoping to draw something good off of these couple of cards. Now, they can still attack and win, right? That's still a thing they can do. It's just, without Appa, they can't really combo. That can also still win. I mean, Vinestalk is still a real card. 2, 3, 4. Yeah, sure. Would you like to stop our Icetail Explorer? At this point, we're just thinning the deck out. Seeing where this leads us. See if maybe we could find one of our Restless Cottages or something. Okay, that doesn't suck. Sure. No, we'll just replay it later. I don't hate that. Now, if they can get another land, they can make a big attack here. That would be difficult for us to deal with. Airbender. Sure. You're gonna airbend Aang? Interesting. Could have attacked first, but sure. I mean, feel free to stop this again if you like. Like, I'm not upset either way. Probably don't need Llanowar Elf. Play Esper Maduin. We're just getting to gain more life here, right? Is the opponent aware of that? I mean, okay. I mean, we'll thin everything out of here that we can. Then we play this one. Another Ice Still Explorer. You know what? I don't think we need another Ice Still Explorer, but I will take a Badger Mole Cub. And sure, why not? Another Fable Passage. Alright, pass the turn. We're going to have so much mana next turn. And double bossing, say. Sure, you've transformed Aang into a 5/5 that doesn't fly now. So then we just block. This was a great situation for us. Yeah, them flipping Aang was perfect. I don't blame them. They're probably just grasping at straws at the moment because their whole situation got blown up. Don't need that. Probably will take a bitter triumph. Should have played. Yeah, that's fine. Probably should have played Badger Mole first, though. Turn. Yeah. All right. Opponent's giving up. Yeah, we were just going to make enough bodies here, even just play the Mutagen Man for whatever was remaining. And then when the other one goes off to pump everything, that's enough to win. This is a tough matchup for the opponent, though, because not many people are playing the exile all of a copy of a card just out of your hand. So the fact that we were able to get Appa just sort of turned everything off once we realized what the deck was. Had they not played Doc Arlock earlier, I probably wouldn't have known. But there's no other decks playing that right now, so I just took a shot and we were right. Oh man, you know what? Sometimes you can just run hotter than the sun, right? And that's the thing about tournaments. Sometimes you just have to get 4 or 5 good matchups on a day, and that's all that matters. And that's sort of what this feels like. I don't think anything in the deck is bad in any way. And obviously, some of those games went much easier than others. But I feel like this could have been either more of a rampy creature type deck. It could be more of a control type deck. I don't know, maybe we could play some planeswalkers. And then you have the other issue that if you run into a control deck, especially one that has ways to deal with graveyards, like, it's going to be hard to win with this thing, right? There's just nothing we're doing against them. Even, or against, like, synthesizer decks, right? We have one real answer, I think, main deck. So there's a lot of decks I don't think this would size up well against, but this is where we say playing on the ladder is sometimes very different than playing in a tournament, right? Because in a tournament, you're worried about just the meta decks, and they're pretty much all going to look like whatever the deck is they're trying to be or whatever. There'll be a few people just bringing some brews or whatever, but generally, that's the case. Whereas on the ladder, you're going to run into a whole variety of things that aren't necessarily good to even play in tournaments. People like a lot of their, their pet decks, and that's what they're going to be on the ladder with. And that's why I would say in general, if you were going to play this, I would be very cautious. Like if you're going to play best of 3, sure, you have a better shot. There's already a sideboard together with proper answers. So I think that makes it a little bit better. But for best of 1, I feel like you could still further tune this. Either make it more of a control type deck or make it more of a mid-rangey creature pile, and you'd probably be better off. But yeah, it's interesting. I mean, still credit to the creator. I mean, they beat almost 300 people in a tournament, and that still counts for something. But yeah, it's an interesting pile, to say the least. But I do like Seasonal Loss. Don't get to see that very often. But yeah, something about it just leaves me on the edge of, I can't highly recommend it. It just, like, there's just so many times I feel like you got the wrong pieces together, or like I said, just certain matchups where it's just not going to be great. But man, when the games are good, they're real good, But I'm going to put this link up over on Moxfield like always, so y'all could try it out, see what you think. Maybe I'm crazy and y'all think the deck's way better than I think. I mean, hey, everybody's got opinions. I'm just one person. But that's all I have you for now. We'll see you next time.